friends, I'm Asha Pradeep. I am newborn and maternity specialized photographer based in Utrecht, Netherlands. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in again. As promised, every week you will get one video about something that you can learn in photography world. Today I want to talk about white balance. Just few days back my friend asked me why do I get photos very bluish. I don't like that kind of photos, but every click that I make it has a blue tone in it. Have you ever wondered why it is? It's because of the white balance. So you need to understand what is white balance, how you can correct it in your camera, and also in the post-processing. So let me dive into it right away. So what is white balance? To understand that, first we have to understand the light, the color of the light. Since the color of the light is not purely white, it has a temperature to it. So it has a temperature of orangish, or it has a temperature of bluish. So when it comes to a sunlight or a flashlight or your the fluorescent light, it has different temperatures, and based on the situation that where you are clicking the photos, it tries to capture that particular temperature. While our brains can process the temperature of the color very well, in fact it can adjust from outside to inside almost seamlessly. Digital cameras can only guess what the color temperature is by watching the ambient light. In most cases, modern digital cameras can guess pretty well. However, in some situations, they make errors. Because of these errors, some of the pictures might appear to be bluish or yellowish in color, and the skin tones might also not look natural. Already explained, different light sources have different light temperatures. These light temperatures are measured in kelvins. So for example, the sunset or a sunrise will have around a Kelvin of 3000 to 4000. Proper daylight sunlight will have around 5000 to 6000 kelvins, and if you're really at a cloudy place, then it will be around 6000 to 7000 kelvins. So that means it is more bluish temperature. Most of the cameras, when you're buying, just check the white balance before you start clicking the photos. Most of the times it will be set on the auto white balance, so the camera tries to really understand the color temperature in the atmosphere it is in and try to match the kelvins. Of course there can be errors, and based on these errors your photos turn out to be either yellowish or orangish, or it can be very bluish, which you might not like. So the great part of our technology in the cameras are that we can change it manually. We can set our kelvins when we want to photograph in different ambient situations. One of the great things about the digital photography is that we do have post-processing. So that means even when you're clicking, you might not be aware of the color tones or the temperatures, but obviously when you go back and start working on the photos, you have the ability in the Photoshop or in the Lightroom to actually change the color temperature to the ones which you like. However, I always insist and I always like to get things right in the camera itself. So for that reason I'm going to show you how we can change the white balance in the camera that you have. Most manufacturers of the camera have already done some presets depending on the situations which are very common for shooting the photos. Okay, let's see some examples about the presets and how to set the white balance correctly. First, let me choose the auto mode in my camera for the white balance. I click a photo having my ISO at 200, shutter speed at 200, and my aperture is at f2.8. So the next setting I have is the bulb side. I'm going to do and take a photo of it. Next one. Next comes the Kelvin, which you can see that I can change the settings. I have kept it at 5560 Kelvin, and which is pretty good for my studio setup. Then I have pre meaning that I can use a gray card to in front of my subject and ensure that the right Kelvin is set. So I'll show you how this works. So first I set my preset to pre, and once it starts blinking, you just have to hold the gray card and click, and it says it is doing good, and that means my white balance is set by the camera. So after that I click a shot and you can see the result. So these were the examples that I took as part of this experiment. I would love to see your trial and errors of playing with white balance. The presets that you are seeing here is from Nikon. Do try out whatever the presets you have in your camera. I would love to see your work. Do post them in my comments section. Please do subscribe to my channel. You will get one educational video every week, I promise. And see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye bye.